fall of the Afghan capital cast a dark shadow over every sacrifice made in the fight against the Taliban. But there is a man who tried to stop things from going down this road. His name is Julian Assange. He's the co-founder of WikiLeaks and behind one of the biggest revelations in U.S. military history. In 2010, the whistleblower group released the Afghan Papers, more than 91,000 leaked reports that shed light on the grim affairs the U.S. was, for understandable reasons, hesitant to share with the public.
Unvarnished, ground-level picture of the war in Afghanistan that is in many respects more grim than the official portrayal.
One of the biggest leaks in US military history, a devastating portrait of the failing war in Afghanistan.
When these reports came into the public eye, Washington's reaction was not to say sorry or even to try to deflect guilt. Instead, it shifted the blame onto Assange, calling him a criminal for apparently putting American lives in danger.
WikiLeaks walks like a hostile intelligence service and talks like a hostile intelligence service.
It is an attack on the international community.
Julian Assange is engaged in terrorism. He should be treated as an enemy combatant.
So, Assange put American lives in danger when he showed the world how U.S. soldiers actually killed innocent people?
Our publications documented their involvement at a case-by-case level in the deaths of more than 20,000 people in Afghanistan and more than 108,000 people in Iraq. And so when you want to distract from this, you just make the same accusation to the person that is making accusation against you.
WikiLeaks determined that the 2006 Operation Medusa resulted in one of the highest civilian death tolls of the war. Despite the shocking circumstances surrounding the event, it was poorly investigated.
An American soldier was killed. They called it an AC-130 gunship. This is a C-130 cargo refitted with cannons on the side. It circled overhead and rained down shells. The war logs say 181 enemy were killed. The logs also say there were no wounded or captured. It was a significant massacre.
The Afghan papers go on to suggest that the cover-ups began with those actually carrying out the slaughter. U.S. soldiers reporting on their own actions appeared to lump civilian deaths with the number of insurgents they had killed. WikiLeaks revelations also shed light on Special Task Force 373, an elite unit tasked with hunting down Taliban leaders. Many times, though, they were involved in the killing of civilian men, women, and children. And Washington later trying to water down the situation with misleading information about what happened. One example of this was when the task force fired rockets at a compound, quoting nefarious activity there. But it was apparently not the case.
There does appear to be evidence of war crimes in this material. An example is the Task Force 373 HIMARS missile strike on a house which killed 7 children.
NATO later recognized the children's deaths they had caused, but said that initially they had no idea they were there. The colossal price Americans' taxpayers paid, the needless suffering caused, the fall of a corrupt, failed state. Why did all this continue for so long? One answer is gigantic profits for giants of the military-industrial complex. With stock returns from 2001 to 2021 for government-contracted companies like Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman totaling more than 1,000%. It's one of many seemingly inevitable consequences of what Assange claimed is a money-making scheme of endless war.
The goal is to use Afghanistan to wash money out of the tax bases of the United States, out of the tax bases of European countries, through Afghanistan and back into the hands of a transnational security elite. That is the goal, i.e. the goal is to have an endless war, not a successful war.
No wonder the West may want to bury the truth and condemn Julian Assange, whose fate is still hanging in the air as he faces 175 years in prison if extradited from a UK jail cell to the United States.